Top of the morning to you. We're pleased to welcome to our studio the famous explorer, navigator, admiral of the ocean sea, and governor of the West Indies, the famous Christopher Columbus. Welcome to the studio. Thank you, but I do not understand this name you have for me. Christopher Columbus? My name is Cristoforo Colombo. Yes, we know that, but we like to call you Christopher Columbus. You know, it sounds better, I think. Well, I don't know. I like my name the way it is. What gives you the right to change my name? Yes. Well, moving on. I understand you were born and raised in Genoa, Italy. Is that so? Tell us about your early years. Yes, my father was a wool maker and had a cheese stand in town. And when I was about 10, I became an apprentice on a merchant ship. Now, I wanted to be a merchant, make lots of money. So your family was not wealthy. You wanted to make money for yourself, for a better life. That sounds reasonable. The way to make real money is to trade with the Far East. See, India, you could buy spices, cloth, and goods for very little gold and sell it in Europe for great profits. So the problem was that the trip overland to the Far East, to India, was very dangerous and closed to Christians. So the way that you get there was to sail a ship all the way around the bottom of Africa. It was very dangerous and took a long time. And people thought the world was flat, isn't that so? No, everyone with a brain knew that the world was round. My plan was to reach the riches of India and trade and profit by sailing west across the Atlantic Ocean around the world. That's very creative and daring. How did you think of such a plan? Well, to be honest, I didn't think it up at all. People have considered the idea for many years. Why had nobody ever tried it? Well, the smart people of the day said that the ocean would be too far to cross by a ship of the 15th century, too far to sail, and nobody knew how far Asia extended around the globe. So nobody really knew how big the Earth was, and I think that it was much smaller than many people thought. And so we could reach the riches of India by sailing directly across the ocean and land without too much trouble. So you took your idea first to British Isles, the British Kingdom, and to Portugal and Italy, but they all refused you. Is that true? Yes, it was Spain that actually took the chance on me and provided the ships. Okay. Hi, I'm Mr. Blake, counsel for Christopher Columbus. Okay, so where were we? Sorry I'm late. Where were we? I didn't know that we needed a lawyer here. Well, to preserve the good name and reputation of Christopher Columbus. Okay, so in 1492, you sailed across the Atlantic Ocean in Spanish ships and discovered the New World. New World? I landed in India, in the Orient. There is no New World. There is only this one world. Excuse me, you landed on an island in the Bahamas. Right, in India. Well, that explains why you call the people that you met Indians. What would you call the people who were in India? Indians? But you never made it to India. If there was no America for you to land in, you would have perished at sea. trying to cross to India. You never would have made it. Nonsense. I became the governor of that part of India. Let's not quibble over which map was used and the names of various places. It was a historic and heroic expedition and became a new Spanish colony. Okay, so let's talk about that. When you were governor, you kidnapped 500 Indians and brought them back to Spain and sold them into slavery. Is that right? That's a lie. Half of the rascals died on the trip, and the rest of them were so sick they wouldn't sell for very much. Oh. It's not fair to judge people of the past by today's standards. But you were arrested and thrown in prison in your own day for crimes against humanity, I believe, and that was by Spain's brutal standards. I think you need to define brutal. Okay, how's this for brutal? You required each native to bring to you a little thimbleful of gold every 3 weeks, or you would execute them or cut off their hand, which is really the same as an execution because almost everyone died from that punishment, having your hand cut off. It is my right to demand payment from my subjects and to convict those who fail and to give appropriate punishments. This is the Spanish feudal system, which was in place in Spain. And I set up a Spanish colony, and I set it up there in India where I governed. And what exactly did you provide in exchange for the gold that you demanded from them? Yes, I provided protections. You were protecting them? Who are you protecting them from? They were committing suicide by the thousands to try to escape your tyrannical punishments and executions. Well, here's a strange thing. I've always wondered. You always executed people in groups of 13. Why? Well, that was in honor of the 12 apostles and our blessed Redeemer. Oh, that's just perfect. I think we've just about finished here. Oh yes, and I can certainly understand why we celebrate you with a national holiday. Well, I think it's the least you can do. And now I understand why they tore down your statue in Baltimore and threw it in the harbor. Threw my statue in the Baltimore harbor? Where's Baltimore?